All right, good evening. We'll call this meeting to order for the March 28th, 2024 Apple Valley City Council meeting. Welcome, everyone. As our items come forward this evening, anyone who has signed up to speak, please make your way forward to the podium, state your name, and address the council. The first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would ask everyone to rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The second item on our agenda is to approve the agenda. And Tom, are there any changes or additions?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. No changes to tonight's agenda.
No changes. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Bergman and a second by Councilmember Grendel. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The agenda is approved. The next item is our audience participation portion. This is for items not on our agenda, and we have a total of 10 minutes for this item. And I know Bernie Bauman would like to speak. Bernie, come on up. And I'll let you introduce yourself because you'll do it better than I could. So,
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, my name is Bernie Bauman. I live at 15643 Duck Crossing Way here in Apple Valley. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Several years ago, my wife and I relocated back to Minnesota from Nebraska after a 10-year assignment with an employer and shortly after I retired. We chose Apple Valley for a number of reasons. We did not choose Minneapolis nor St. Paul, Hennepin County nor Ramsey County for a lot of reasons. If you are a history buff, you know the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely, was made famous by the English historian Lord Acton in 1887. Lord Acton was writing about the monarchies of the time, those in which all power was given, or as more often the case, taken by the monarchs. Examples of the monarchs who corrupted their power included Roman emperors who declared themselves gods, and Napoleon Bonaparte, who declared himself an emperor. Here we are, 137 years later, and the gods and emperors in the Minnesota legislature are trying to take the power and the responsibility of single-family zoning away from Apple Valley and the cities and towns across Minnesota through the proposed legislation of House File 4009 and Senate File 3964. As a locally elected body, you discussed these two proposals at your last meeting. This legislation seeks to eliminate single-family zoning in cities with a population of 10,000 or more and strip municipalities' authority and responsibilities to regulate housing, parking, aesthetics, and lot subdivision. According to the authors of this legislation, the bill aims to increase housing affordability. It is my opinion the gods sitting on their thrones at 75 Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in St. Paul are wrong about this, a manufactured issue, as they have been so wrong on so many issues before it. House File 4009 and Senate File 3964 are Minneapolis and St. Paul inspired proposals. I don't know about you, but Minneapolis and St. Paul do not inspire me for anything. There is an exodus of citizens in both cities. The crime rate continues to be historically high. Property taxes have risen at an unsustainable rate. Rent is sky high. Roadways have given away to potholes after potholes. Their parks are falling apart, and their schools are failing their students. Minneapolis and St. Paul are the birthplace of defund the police movement. House File 4009 and Senate File 3964 are not pieces of legislation that will elevate the cities and towns in Minnesota. They will no doubt drag cities like ours down to their level. Do not relinquish your local zoning control and responsibility over to the legislators and bureaucrats in St. Paul. Please do not take my ability as a local citizen to influence local decision made by sending me to St. Paul. Neither one of these bills considers the input of Apple Valley residents, businesses, and organizations that make up our local community. I will end with an idiom I'm sure you're all familiar with. If a camel gets his nose under the tent, where does the madness of this legislation end? A takeover of your roles and responsibility for city planning, law enforcement, parks and recreation, the city budget? I ask you as just a local guy, a local taxpayer, someone who chose Apple Valley to live when the choices were many. Keep local control of our zoning rights, responsibilities, and authority. Call out state elected representatives who do not share this opinion. Call them out by name. Don't play politics with this issue. Call them out by name. Sound off like a Marine. Preserving the character and integrity of our neighborhoods is vitally important. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie.
Thanks, Bertie. Just for a bit of background for those who didn't get the rest of the issue, last council meeting, you can go back and watch the, about 40 minutes of discussion. All of there, I would say, you brought up two bill numbers, Bernie. Don't focus, for those who want to do research, on just those two, because things change at the legislature. Bills get new numbers, new things come up to replace them. Look at the issue, not necessarily the bill number, because some of those have changed even in the last week or so. I would say everybody up here has done a fair amount of work on this. I've been with the governor last week. We were with all of our elected reps, as well as many of the advocacy groups who have been behind this to make sure they understand what they're talking about. So coming at this from all ways and from everyone up here. But for those who are concerned, the best thing you can do is to reach out to your local state representatives and senators. They're the ones who will vote on this, and they need to hear the voice, for or against, of the people, not just of us. So thank you, Bernie. Councilmember Goodwin.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, thanks a lot, Bernie.
Well done.
For folks that don't know, Bernie is also the commander of our local American Legion, and also somebody who watches city council meetings. I wish more people did. Our message last week was loud and clear. The state wants to change the rules and not allow city councils to zone. They want to allow your neighbor in a single-family home to build 3 or 4 unit housing right in where he is. This is just it's atrocious. And I appreciate Bernie coming forward, and I hope more people get that message and can talk to their state legislators. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no other public comments, we'll move on to our consent agenda. These items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion unless a council member or a citizen would like to pull an item. Council members, are there any items you would like to pull? All right, seeing none. Citizens, any items to pull? All right, seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Grendall, a second from Councilmember Goodwin. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, that item carries. We'll move on to our regular agenda item. And one of our favorite evenings here is our item 5A, which is inductions and oaths to office of firefighters. We have Chief Nelson. Will take us from here. And while Chief Nelson gets situated, for those in the audience who might look for a picture, please feel free to get up and get wherever you can get the best one this evening. So,
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Obviously, kind of as you said, we kind of have a lot of families out here today, so here to help us celebrate. So started, the firefighters that we're going to badge tonight started 2 years ago. It was a process 2 years ago in April of 2022 with an application to become a firefighter. They passed a written test, an interview, a background check, a physical, an agility test, and a psychological testing. Then in September of 2022, I actually started a recruit class. Went through EMR certification, emergency medical responder, firefighter 1, firefighter 2, hazmat ops. They received all their certifications and received their pager in March of 2023, 1 year after applying, and started the process. And then this started their process of responding to calls and attending drills. They worked through their task books with additional on-the-job training once they had gotten their pagers. This past January, their station captains gave their approval for their oath of office to be administered and for them to get badged. Turn it over to you, Pam, for badging. Oh, yes, sorry. We'll bring forth our firefighters.
we might need them for this.
Yeah. My first time. So. We have Demi Costa, Matt Detchen, Clarissa Keel, Joel Koski, and Matt Moore.
Hey, you want to repeat this so that people in back are taking?
Raise your right hand and read with me the oath of city office. I, Denny Costa.
I, Matt Detchen.
I, Clarissa Keel.
I'm Joel Koski. Hi, Matt Moore.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of the state of Minnesota and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of firefighter of the city of Apple Valley in the county of Dakota and the state of Minnesota to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
Now that they've administered the oath of office, we're going to have a badge pinning ceremony. It's tradition that they pick who they would like to pin their badge. So Demi is going to have her daughter Avery pin her badge. Matt Detchen is going to have his dad Michael. Joel Koski is going to have his wife Carly. Clarissa is going to have her dad Jeffrey. And Matt Moore is his wife Sarah. If you guys want to come forward. And then if the mayor and council would approve, we're going to have a little late reception celebration for these guys.
Absolutely. Welcome. Thank you all.
Stand up and give them a hand.
Absolutely. Let's stand up and give them a hand. Thank you all and welcome, and we'll give you guys a moment to get settled and make your way out for your reception. Watch the whole room empty. Apparently somebody told John there was cake. I thought John was gonna go with cake or join the reception or something. All right, the next item on our agenda is staff and council communications. And Tom, do we have anything this evening?
Mr. Mayor, we do have one. We'd like to invite up Police Chief Nick Francis to give us an update on Autism Awareness Month in the police department.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I spoke to you at the last meeting to just kind of give a heads up, but wanted one more final reminder here before we enter the month of April that we have Autism Acceptance Month for our community. It's important because our first event is actually before April 1st. We always do it on Holy Saturday, the day before Easter. We have our Easter egg hunt. That's on March 30th this year, so I wanted to get that out to folks. As of this morning, I think we have right around 45 community members signed up to attend that. It's a sensory-friendly Easter egg hunt, which is a little bit easier for folks who maybe have some sensory issues or mobility concerns. So that's our first event this year. The next one is the week of April 8th through 12th. We do a patch hunt where clues are released online and sent out to folks that register and want to receive those directly. And so it's a patch hunt anywhere in the community, similar to what we do for Midwinterfest, where some clues are given and they're given the opportunity to find the patch, like a medallion, and that comes with a gift card. And then our third event is April 26th at the Galaxy Library. It's a coloring program, and our staff will be on hand kind of there helping folks and getting those great puzzle pieces and badges and patches displayed. So throughout the month, you may see officers wearing a little bit different patch. We authorize a special patch that was created and designed by a group of community members along with us. And our Apple Valley Community Crime Prevention Association will be selling those at these events. They're also available in the lobby during the month of April during normal business hours. So we invite the community to come out. We also did a podcast that will get released here early in April. And our new podcast, which is called Buzz with the Fuzz, I think this is the fourth installment. And we do myself and Kibby Clawson, who's our mental health responder through Dakota County. We are the guests this month talking about autism acceptance and what it means to kind of celebrate that in our community. So we welcome everyone to come out and join us, and we welcome those who aren't able to figure out some way within the month of April to accept autism and do what they can to welcome this community.
Great, thank you, Chief. I see some click here's on the screen. I'm assuming we could, is that just on the city's website?
Yep, city's website or on our social media accounts. If you follow us, you'll be able to get direct links to all that.
Great, thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Tom, anything else? One more?
Just one more comment, because it happened before our next city council meeting, just a word about the Apple Valley Home and Garden Expo, which will be taking place on Saturday, April the 6th. This is being held at Eastview High School, where it's been the last few years, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So this is the Apple Valley Home and Garden Expo, put on by the Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce. They have over 100 vendors there. Certainly the city will be there with many of our departments handing out information and talking with citizens about how to improve their property. Fire department will be there as well with a display. Just a lot of good family activity there, as well as the opportunity to interact with vendors and improve your property in Apple Valley. So just a reminder of that, and we hope folks can come out on Saturday, April the 6th.
And Tom, unlike a home and garden show that might be held in Minneapolis or St. Paul, that's a free event for the public to attend, correct?
This is true, yes.
All right, thank you. Council, any items for communication? All right, seeing none, we'll talk about the calendar of upcoming events. Our next informal city council meeting is Thursday, April 11th at 5:30, and our next regular city council meeting is Thursday, April 11th at 7. Do I have a motion to approve the calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Grendall, a second from Councilmember Bergman. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that item carries. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Goodwin and a second from Councilmember Grendall. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.